If you've ever wondered why sometimes it's really easy to manifest things and sometimes it's nearly impossible, then the next few minutes will save you years worth of frustration in your manifestation journey. And I know this because that was the case for me. Certain things were really easy, including health and even seeing some sorts of miracles happening around me. But when it came to finances and wealth, that was always difficult. And it comes down to things that I believe to be true that come back from childhood. But nevertheless, when I understood this one thing, things started to shift immediately. And that one thing being, you are the main power in this universe. Meaning, as Neville used to say, you are the operant power in this reality. What that means is there's no other power that can overrule your power in this reality. And when you start to learn things about manifestation and different techniques and working with different teachers and reading different books, you start to head down a path where you're looking to certain techniques and certain ways of doing things to get results versus having the power coming from within you. So you're almost outsourcing your power to things outside of you and thinking that those things are what's causing reality to shift, versus understanding that you are the only thing that powers those techniques in the first place. Same thing that can be said about the placebo effect. If a doctor hands you a pill that has sugar in it or nothing in it and tells you that this will cure your headache, and you believe the doctor, then that works. But it's not, obviously there's no power in the pill, the power is coming from you. That is true for everything in reality. And sometimes we just outsource our power to certain things outside of us to give ourselves permission to experience that reality that we're looking for. And pausing here for a second to say that techniques are fine as is, right? So even my favorite example in the Bible is when Jesus used mud. He spit on the ground and put mud in somebody's eyes, so a technique. But he used that to get the person over a threshold so they believed, and then they got healed and they could see again. So techniques are very valid if they can get you over that threshold. But once you understand that you are the power that drives, that powers that entire technique, then you can use that to allow yourself to not need that permission and just believe for certain things and have them show up, and not outsource your power to something that's external to you and think that it was because that technique was really good or because that book or that teacher, helped me to get through that. No, you are the power, the most powerful thing in this universe, because you are a fractal of God. You are one with God. Like Jesus said, you and God are one, and there's no difference. There's nothing outside of you in this reality. So everything is within you, including the techniques, including the placebo, including every result and desired reality that you could possibly imagine at this point. The way I saw this in my own life was when I worked in sales and I was making $50K a year. And without any techniques, I made a decision on the spot to believe something. I was watching people around me where we were getting commission checks, and people were doing the same exact things that I was doing on the phones and getting, double a lot more money than I was making. And I made the decision that they were no better than I was. They were doing the same things that I was doing, so I could get that money too. And that by itself, just the decision to shift my identity and be someone else, like be the person that can get those meetings over the threshold and get that revenue into the books so that I can get the commission. Just that decision made it so that things shifted immediately. Within the first week, I was already getting those deals through. And that was without having to outsource my power to some sort of technique and visualizing and doing all sorts of different things like that. And you can prove to yourself that this is true, right? That you don't need techniques, because certain things in your own life, you don't do any techniques for, right? So if you already expect a paycheck every couple of weeks from your job or from clients, where you expect a certain revenue per month or whatever, then that's already your reality. So there's no needing to do a affirmation or visualization or anything special, because that's already coming to you, because you know it's coming to you. and because you believe that it is at the subconscious level. So the key word there is you believe it, and because you have full conviction of it, it comes to you. And you can bypass a lot of the different things that techniques require of you by just believing in the first place. The purest form of manifestation is what Jesus said in the Bible. If you believe, you can do even crazy things like telling this mountain to jump into the sea and it'll happen. There's nothing that's outside of your control if you just believe. The way I define manifestation is the inevitable unfolding of your dominant subconscious beliefs into your experienced reality. Meaning whatever you believe to be true is true or becomes true in due time eventually. Right? So whatever at the subconscious level, at the deepest level, you believe is true about yourself, about reality, about the world around you, has to be reflected back at you at some point, if it's planted into your subconscious. One thing I want to say real quick is that a lot of times for myself, for example, finances were really hard because of my upbringing and the beliefs that I held as truth that were really not true. And I've put together a custom GPT that you can use for free. It's in the description below. And it should walk you through exactly how to find what those hidden beliefs are and how to excavate them so that you're on your way to overcoming them and freeing yourself from these things that are binding you or chaining you to your current results. So really, that's all I wanted to say. So you have the power, and you are the operant power. You're the most powerful thing in this universe because you are one with God. And the force that's driving this entire reality, everything that you see around you, is being driven by you. Whenever you walk into a supermarket or anywhere, all of the faces you see, everything that you see, all the interactions around you is just reflecting back at you who you are. So what you're putting out is being reflected back at you. And especially at the subconscious level. So whatever you believe to be true about yourself and the world around you has to be reflected back at you. And because you are that power pushing reality forward, you are in complete control of what you get to experience in your reality. And like I said earlier, if you need some mud in the eye, right, to get to experience that, that's fine. But never outsource your own power to a technique or to something that you did, right? It's all coming from you, from your imagination, from your belief. It's coming from your belief. If this video resonated, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be putting a lot more of these types of videos out where I hopefully try to shortcut your own manifestation journey and giving you tips and things that I had to learn the hard way over many, many years, and allowing you to reach the next levels faster and faster as you go along. And if you're still watching, clearly you are someone that follows your intuition and is serious about understanding the true nature of reality. If that's you, again, subscribe and watch this video next if you want to keep heading down the rabbit hole and understanding more about how this all works. I'll see you there.